Hello and thank you for joining us from wherever you are. We are coming to you live from our studios here in Kokomlemle on digital address GA0992539. Our top stories this hour. Friday is here again and we take you across the country, stopping in each region with correspondent on the major stories covered over the week, including flooding that killed 11 people in an accident that took 23 lives. Also, political campaigns ahead of the December elections. We have boots on the ground for this. On low turnout on first day of voter registration register exhibition as problems emerged with the 1422 short code platform being used to check voter details. We hear from the Electoral Commission on how it is fixing the problem and the NDC, which is raising concerns about the exhibition. A Sin Central MP Kennedy Japan contempt case adjourned as court issues warning it will not countenance undue vilification of judges. We will tell you why the adjournment became necessary. Join us on DSTV 421 Go TV 144. Remember, we're streaming live on YouTube. You can also find us on Facebook. Join us with your thoughts on our WhatsApp platform 0540109009. My name is Gifty Andopia. This is The Pulse. Please be my guest. Well, can you believe it? It's just 80 days to the election. Well, the National Disaster Management Organization has been rolling out a mock exercise in few regions. They're doing so to test the readiness of security services and their ability to respond to election-related violence in the upcoming elections. These exercises were organized in the Ashanti region, the Greater Accra region, and the Northern region to strengthen the level of collaboration between the security. One of the major loopholes they realized with this exercise was the lack of proper coordination, which they say they will be fixing. Here in the Greater Accra region, NADMO set up polling stations in the Ayawaso West, Wagon, Tema West constituencies. Then these are identified as hotspots. We'll bring you a wrap of what Manuel Cranting gathered yesterday.
And loot the items.
Okay. So you send some men?
Some men there.
All right. So we need to...
Place to be secure.
Sure.
Okay, so we are getting this information that NADMO is sending relief items to...
This is the command center, where heads of security agencies have gathered to receive information from the ground. On the ground, 2 polling centers were created at the Tema West and the Ayawaso West Wagon constituencies for a simulation exercise on electoral violence. At Ayawaso West Wagon, some electorates were seen queuing to cast their ballots, shortly after which a group of armed men on a motorbike stormed the polling center to seize ballot boxes.
I'm seeing some motorbikes, just some gentlemen. Oh my God, that's so he's brandishing a gun and already pointing to the skies. There are shots and it's pandemonium here. I see the ballot box is being carried away, and these are able-bodied men who have attacked the polling center here at Abelenke 2 primary school. Everybody is running for their life. I am currently just behind the building. I see shots being fired. Oh my, if you can see this, I see shots being fired. They are onto the motorbike. They are moving. I see the ballot box has been whisked away.
A report on this was sent to the command center. The security capos there deployed their operational strategies in dealing with the situation. Archibald Corbena is Greater Accra Regional NADMO Director explaining this. Archibald Corbena is Greater Accra Regional NADMO Director explaining the reasoning behind this exercise.
Towards these elections, we know that in this country we've had elections since 1992. up till now, and it's all been good. But I mean, you don't sit aloof. I mean, you prepare yourself and ensure that wherever there is smoke, you kill it before it turns into a food. Every country has a military. The reason we have a military is whether there is a war or not, there is military, and that's what we call preparedness. You ensure that your security, your agencies that are supposed to ensure that something like that doesn't happen will do their work and do it very, very, very well.
Meanwhile, Deputy Greater Accra Regional Minister Elizabeth Saki says even though she is impressed by the performance of the security agencies, more has to be done to ensure a peaceful environment for the conduct of the elections.
The participant tells me that it's a real thing that they are prepared for whatever will happen in the nation. So hopefully, I'm foreseeing a cool and calm election, and I know and I'm for sure that things will go on well with us, and everything will surely be on the right path, and we'll overcome the hitches that will come on our way.
I see.
Yeah, together with the security agencies, I'm sure we also will have to collaborate with the information service and encourage them. We need to send much education to the people.
The Deputy Minister also disclosed that 8 constituencies have been identified as flashpoints here in the Greater Accra region.
For now, we have about 8.
8 flashpoints
in Greater Accra. We have the Ododiodo, we have the Krowo, we have the Tema West, we have the Ayawaso. Well, those, so we have about 8 of them.
Several others of this exercise are to be organized ahead of the December polls. For JoyNews, Manuel Cranting.
Very interesting reports by Manuel Cranting there of what happened yesterday. Well, we're here again. It's Friday. Time for us to take a weekly update from across the country, which we have christened our correspondent or former correspondent. And there have been a lot of activities this week, of course, from politics to human interest stories. So we begin from up north in the Upper East region, where the devastation caused by the flood situation was given a boost with the repair of the roads that connected Boko to Bolgatanga. That bridge was washed away by the floods. Albert Soy reported on that. We'll tell you more of what has been happening on it as well. We'll also go to the northeast region where Eliasu Tanko reported of BEC students having problems accessing their examination centers because of flooding. They will all join me via Zoom right now. But first, let's hear some of the affected victims and some teachers who spoke to our correspondent at the commencement of the exams.
10 schools gathered here at the center. We have 493 students registered among all those schools who are going to take part. Now we are going very well, except that we are waiting for the question papers to be brought from the depot. So we are set. And I think we just got the information that 3 of the students haven't come because their houses were flooded and then got washed away by the floods.
Where are you from?
I'm from Pasampe.
So how did you travel from your community to Olugoye?
From our community, first of all, our teachers told us where to come by with a bus. Then because of the stature of the road with the water, so the bus said it could not pass anymore. So we had to come by with a tractor. And when we were coming with the tractor on the way, it got stuck because the water spoiled the way, we couldn't pass. So it got stuck. Then we had to get down and walk. We had to walk through the water and pass. Then some of the students, but the boys of the students, they went back to help push the tractors in order for it to pass, for us to be able to come. And in the bush, we spent about almost 2 hours in the bush. When we are coming, the road was not good at all. We suffered a lot. We reached some middle of the road due to Kankandina. We stayed there for about 2 hours. We were thirsty, a lot of things. Our tractor was not even, some of our friends were just complaining about how they feel, their waist, their legs. And even when we reach here, some of our friends go and buy medicine.
Eliasu Tanko joins me with more on this. Hello, Eliasu. Eliasu, were these students able to write some of the papers at all in your region?
Well, it was unfortunate. Unfortunately, we never had any information about these students. The last time we spoke to the supervisor that you heard in the clip there, he said the masters had not provided any information on these students. And we followed up, and still we do not have information on these particular students. These are not the only students. We had about 20 of them who were writing at the Wale Senior High School Center. That particular center had about 6 schools, and in all these 6 schools, 20 of these students did not report to sit for these particular exams. We gleaned information about the reason for this, and we're told that some of them had dropped out, some of them had gotten pregnant and decided not to write this particular paper. But specifically on the students at passing grade, the 3 of them that you heard the supervisor, the supervisor was very categorical. He said the information that they had was that these students' house got flooded, and that is the reason why they did not come to sit for this particular exam.
Well, unfortunately, what it means for them is that they may have to write next year. But hang on for me, Eliasu. Let me bring Albert Story in. Albert, the same devastation was caused in your area. About 4 or so people died. What is the latest on that situation?
Yes, Gipsy. So what is happening now is that here in the Upper East region, the floodwaters are receding. So basically, they are beginning to rebuild for most of the communities. You'll recall that at Kobori in the Boku West district, we had the floodwaters wash away a portion of the Bolgatanga Boku Road. Yeah. And that brought about some stranded passengers and drivers who could not cross to the Boku area or from Boku to Bolgatanga. 2 days ago, the government began patching that road. And what is happening now is that the road is fixed and commuters are able to use it once again.
Oh, well, that's good news. I'm coming back to you, Eliasu. Eliasu, how has the problem been solved in your area? We know that the VRA has been doing some kind of assessments there. Tell us a bit more about it.
Well, the VRA has sent a lot of their staff in here, including engineers who are helping, especially with the construction of the Pualugu multi-purpose dam. But they are also engaged in other activities. The last time we spoke to the man in charge of communications, he told us that the VRA, as part of the temporary measures to minimize of the flood, they are going to resettle over 500 people. And these people are in the direct line of the Bagris village. I mean, they are currently living along the banks and some tributaries of the White Volta River. So the VRA intends to resettle all these people from their lowland settlement to high ground as the Pualugu multi-purpose dam continues, because we do know that this is a project, this is a very big project, and it's going to last for 4 years. So within this 4-year period, this is the measure that the VRA is taking to minimize the effects of the spillage as well as the torrential rainfalls that we witness every year in this particular region.
Right. Let me just quickly acknowledge Peter Seno and Anna Sabitu are also online with us, but I'd like to hold you on back, Eliasu. I'm going to Albert again. Albert, the VRA also has been doing some work in your area. Tell us about it.
Yes, so VRA Netco, one of the 3 contractors who are working on the Kwalugu multipurpose dam. Now, because of the importance of this dam in curbing the perennial floods in the Upper East region, what the officials of VRA Netco decided to do earlier in the week was to come to the aid of some of the victims of the recent floods. So they donated some food items, 3 truckloads of food items worth 350,000 Ghana cedis to the regional minister, who then presented the items to the office of NADMO for onward distribution to the affected victims. Now, it was at this function that we got the opportunity to interact with the managing director and the public relations officer for the Kwalugu multipurpose dam. And he indicated that for some time now, all the 3 contractors, including the Chinese partners, have been on site trying to start work on the Kwalugu multipurpose dam. So as part of this, they created access routes to the area. They also set up the campsites where the workers for this dam will be sleeping when work starts. And they had done some concrete works as well before the floods came and interrupted them. And so,
well, earlier,
of the Volta River Authority, VRA, and the Northern Electricity Distribution Company, NETCO, gave the assurances while making a donation of some food items to victims of the recent floods in the Upper East region. They say the Volta Lake is under the management of VRA, and therefore they were saddened by the plight of the flood victims. Osman Ayuba Aludiba is managing director of NETCO.
We've lost lives, and a life once lost cannot be brought back, you understand? But what can we do to ameliorate the sufferings of the people? Once their lives have been lost, their farmlands have been lost, houses have been lost, you cannot actually compensate them. So this is actually not a compensation, it's just a token to just lessen the plight of these people.
The Kwalugu multipurpose dam, when completed, will help control the perennial floods. Government cut sod last year for the construction of the dam. Therefore, following the devastation caused by the floods this year, many had wondered if any progress had been made with work on the project. Senior Government Public Relations Officer for the Kwalugu multipurpose dam, David Pra, says all 3 contractors involved in the construction of the dam are currently on site. He said work had been ongoing in the area for some time, but had to be halted due to the recent floods.
The first and the major contractors, who are the Power China construction company, they are the engineers and the contractors of the actual dam. They are on site. They are doing what we call pre-concrete construction activities. They have done the access roads to the dam site very beautifully shaped with some culverts and other bridges fixed. And then they have also cleared the area where the workers will be staying. We call the campsite. The surveyors are also on site. They are demarcating the dam boundaries. And then we have the ESIA, Environmental Social Impact Assessment contractors. VRA is working with Lands Commission, Forestry Commission, and then EPA with Energy Commission. And we are doing what we call property valuation
to evaluate the properties in the area, to know who and who must be paid and at what cost. The reservoir space is about 350 kilometers square. So it's so large to contain the volume of water that Bagre will spill.
Sorry with that report. So let me go bring in Isaac Nonya. Isaac Nonya also has a story about the flooding in the area. We stay on the flooding a bit because shortly we'll be admitting Peter Seno as well as Eliasu. Anas Sabit is on a campaign trail. He'll join us, and then Peter Seno will tell us about an accident there. But Isaac, let me bring you in. You have a story, a similar story about flooding. Tell us.
Yes, Giti. My area happened to fall within two districts, the North Gonja and that of the Central Gonja districts. First, with the North Gonja district, where the flood was badly, people badly affected, close to 750 farmlands, and most of them happen to be groundnuts, yam, and then that of a farm, including soya beans. This particular crop that I mentioned, during this period, if the water that doesn't move away anymore from now, their produce will go bad, and that has been the concern of many of these farmers who are affected. We also realized that those who were asked to relocate by the advice of NAGBO, and then move away by themselves to those who were being housed at the...
Okay, Isaac, I'm losing you bit by bit. So let me just quickly finish with Anas Sabit. Anas is still on the campaign trail, and the campaign trail is moving. It's on the move. So let's finish it with Anas so that we can let him go. Anas. Right. Anas, tell us where you are at the moment and what you have done so far.
We are still in the two east districts, and we have the former president just finished addressing the people of the Yeji area, where he has assured them of some very juicy promises, even offering them with a pedal motorbikes so that they'll be paying in installments. A host of other promises he has been delivering since he got into the region. He also assured the people of Yeji, Yeji is a predominantly fishing area. He has indicated that when he returns, when voted into office, is going to establish a landing beach site for this fisherfolk so that their fishing trade will be on the rise. So basically, this has been the engagement. There's an engagement he has with the paramount chief of the World Traditional Council. He doubles as the president of the Bruno Ahafo Regional House of Chiefs. Nanaya Adese, he called on the former president to send a message across to his party faithfuls with regards to politicians engaging in chieftaincy issues. That, according to the chief, will kind of bring down the dignity of the chieftaincy institution. And the former president, in response, also assured that for the NDC as a party, are going to ensure that they carry along the message of the chief, and then also give the kind of respect the chieftaincy institution requires.
Anas, I see that you are on the move, so I assume that the trail is moving and you have to move with them together. But give us a highlight of what has happened in the region so far, if you can, in terms of your reportage. Then we can wrap it up with you so we can let you go and continue with the campaign trail.
Yeah, so far, this is the second day. Tomorrow he's ending the tour of the region. But today, this is the first point of call for the day. Is set to also move to the prime area, which is the capital of the Pru West constituency. From there, we'll also be heading towards Abiase, where we'll be engaging the traditional authorities. We'll also heading towards Apesika, also in the Kintampo constituency. From there is a big program to be held in Kintampo, where he will be commissioning a project, a cassava project that was established, or that has been established by the Kintampo Member of Parliament, who is also on the side of the NDC. So the former president, even though in opposition, will be commissioning a project this afternoon in the Kintampo North constituency.
Tabit's there. He's still joining the campaign trail. Well, former President John Mahama, who is also flag bearer of the NDC, is in his region and he's doing a 3-day tour. Looks like this is the last but one day for the former president. And he's been talking, of course, the Okada politics is still ongoing there and talking to them about chieftaincy, etc. And as we can let you go now so you can continue with the campaign trail. But let's finish up this issue about flooding, which has been one of the biggest issues the whole week. It has killed 11 people at least. It has submerged so many farmlands in a season not supposed to be harvest season. And you know, the livelihoods for these people have all been washed away. You've seen what the intervention that authorities, have made. But Martina, I think I see you there. Martina, this flooding happened in the upper East region as well as the Savannah and then the Northeast region. Well, I don't have Martina. I thought I'd seen her somewhere and wanted to bring her in. But let me finish this up with you. Eliasu, Albert and Isaac. Isaac, I'll stay a little longer with you because you have other stories as well. Eliasu, let's finish it up with you. At the moment, has the weather cleared up? Are you still, or is the area still expecting some more rains?
The weather is cleared up at the moment. Yesterday, though, we had some few showers in the region. And for 2 days, actually, we have had some few showers in the region. But today, specifically, the weather is cleared up, even though I can see some clouds gathering. But the whole day, we've not had rains. We have spoken to our sources in other parts of the region, especially the Mamprogo, Muaduri area, the West Mamprose area, and also the Cheponi area. These are the 3 districts that are hard hit by this particular situation. And the indication also is that the weather there has also cleared up. But definitely, if you look at the weather, it looks like there are indications that more rains will be coming.
Thank you, Eliasu. Finish up again with me on the voter register exhibition. Did you gather any information on this? Or on this here in Accra and other parts that we've checked, there's been low turnout. What can you report on that, Eliasu? Looks like you didn't get my final question on that. Albert, sorry, let me come to you. Albert, has the weather cleared up?
We had some rain 3 days ago at dawn. It wasn't so heavy, but since then we've had some sunshine. The weather is a bit cloudy at the moment, but we've not had rains. The rainy season is not over yet as far as our season in this part of the country is concerned. So we would expect some more rains. The prayer in the hearts of many people is that if more rain should come, they shouldn't be heavy enough to further compound the flooding problem that we already have.
Albert, there's also a thing about the road that was washed away. You needed to give us a quick update on that. Do give us that and then tell us how the voter register exhibition has gone, if you've had any information on that.
So the Kubori stretch of the Bolgatanga-Boku Road, which was washed away by the floodwaters, has now been fixed. Earlier in the week, we had some stranded drivers complaining, but we've returned to the place, and as the government promised, the road has now been fixed, and the drivers and commuters who are using it are saying that they are happy. On the voter exhibition exercise, the turnout has been low so far in the Upper East region. The checks we've made in few of the centers indicates that just a few people this morning and afternoon have come to check. The hope is that as the days continue, people will show up and check if their registration details are in the voters register.
Well, Albert has a story about that road that he just mentioned. Let's take a look. I do have Maxwell Kudeko, Eastern Region. We'll get to connect with him as well. Peter Seno is still online with us. We'll get to him as well. And Isaac Nonya has a very interesting update on the women who were branded as witches and manhandled. We'll get to that. Well, take a look at Albert Sori's report.
A 20-meter ditch was created on the road at Kubori in the Boku West district, preventing commuters from being able to cross over from the Boku areas to the capital, Bolgatanga, and vice versa. Earlier this week, government assured stranded drivers that the road will be fixed. Joy News can report that the road has now been repaired and commuters are using it. Drivers say they are now relieved they are able to use the road again. Here are some of them.
Now we are very happy that they fixed it. Our cars can now pass, we can now do our business, and everything is all right for us now. We thank the Almighty God. Everything is going on well now.
It is good now. We are feeling happy because when the road was washed off, we don't know what to do. We, the passengers and the drivers, we are all suffering from that other road. Even if you load and go, the moment you come back, all the money you get, maintenance, they will take the money again. So you get nothing. So we are happy for the contractors.
Albert Sori's report read to you.
Let me go to the eastern region, away from the upper east region. Maxwell Kudeko has been online for a while. There has been, of course, low voter turnout, like you know. But Maxwell, what can you report as far as the latest, which is the voter register exhibition, is concerned?
Well, it wouldn't be too fair to say that the turnout has been very low in most parts of the eastern region, in the sense that even though, as typical of Ghanaians, we normally patronize some of these things at last minute. Most of the centers that I visited had quite some encouraging numbers. For example, in the Abiso electoral area, closer to the old Abiso clinic, as at midday, about 55 people have come to check their details in the register out of almost 600 people who registered in that particular electoral area. In most areas the numbers were around 25, 30, and thereabouts. So on the average, I would say that for the start, it has not been too bad in most parts of the state.
I hear some sound in your background. Hopefully we can get that muted. But the National Road Safety Authority and Motor Traffic and Transport Division of the Ghana Police Service has visited the accident scene, and they are advocating for the immediate completion and opening of the N6, popularly known as the Accra-Kumasi Highway. They want this done to reduce the carnage on that particular stretch. As you know, there were some accidents over there. And Max, you have been following up on this one. What is the latest? But we've lost Maxwell, but take a look at this report he brought in.
A joint team from the National Road Safety Authority and the Motor Traffic and Transport Division of the Ghana Police Service, led by CEO of Road Safety, Engineer May Obriyebua, have been visiting the Chichere accident scene to assess the nature of the road and causes of accident on that stretch. After several engagements at the scene, the two state institutions admitted that if portions of the Accra-Kumasi road that is near completion is open to traffic, it will reduce the head-on clashes and road accident-related deaths. Director of Research and Programs at the MTTD, Lieutenant Kwaku Obeng, made this observation after touring the Chichere accident scene that claimed 14 lives 3 days ago.
Sometimes we see drivers unlawfully changing lane on semi-carriages, facing oncoming vehicles. We see drivers flouting fatigue rules and drive tired, and their vehicles veer off and crash into oncoming vehicles on these single carriages. Engineer will be encouraged, admonished, and appealed to find the needed resources in our lifetime to ensure that this policy that the state started way back in review, actualize these two Trans-West African Highway and River Flow Accra-Paka will be realized to eliminate the risk of head-on collision, because with rollovers on dual carriages, there is always minimal.
CEO of the National Road Safety Authority, Engineer May Obriyebua, believed same. She also wants road engineers to construct mandatory rest stop on highways and employ the police to enforce the law.
But one of the things I think could also cure, which we have always said, and I have just seen signs of it, is dualization. And we all believe that, yes, people could drive wrongly, or somebody's tire could burst. But if he was on the other side of the road, probably there will be no head-on collision. He will go in the opposite direction. So dualization of this section, that is all the way from Accra to Bolga or to the northern part of the country, will greatly decrease the number of crashes that we have. That is the head-on collisions. And also, we have also said that driving tired has also contributed. So if we should have mandatory rest stops along the sections, all the way from Accra to the northern part, where drivers will go rest for about 30 minutes before they continue. And also two drivers in a particular vehicle, especially when moving for more than 200 kilometers or so, you should have two drivers so that one can take over from the other, probably when they get to a certain point.
The Sohum District Police Commander, Superintendent Joseph Owusu, also hinted the culprit of the Chichire accident has been remanded into police custody. He said the police is waiting for advice from the Attorney General for further action.
The one who caused the accident, we apprehended him on the same day and then detained, and then the following day we arraigned him before court, and he has been remanded into police custody to reappear on 22nd of this month. Now we have to build up standard docket and forward it into Attorney General's office for advice. So the directive will come from Attorney General's office, and from there we will arraign him again and put him before court based on Attorney General's directive.
Maxwell Kudaka report for JoyNews.
So let's wrap up with Maxwell, who is still online with us. Maxwell, so what is the latest on this accident that claimed just so many lives?
Well, we are told that as of now, the number of people who are confirmed dead in this accident still remain 14. A couple of them, numbering about, say, 40 who were also injured, have all been treated and discharged. Now, actors within the road safety sector or stakeholders, as we heard, are advocating for strategies, or as it were, efforts to reduce the carnage on that stretch of road, especially between Teacher Mante through to Apega Junction to Bunsu Junction. You realize that from Teacher Mante through to Chichire to Sohum, the section of the Kumasi to Accra dualization project have been completed, or somebody will say it's almost completed. So authorities or road safety managers are advocating a reopening or a partial opening of that stretch to traffic so that it will ease the pressure on the single lane in order to avoid head-on collision and other accidents that cause human life. So that has been the advocacy now on that stretch of road. But by the grace of God, all the people who were injured have been treated and discharged from the Sohum and Sohum government hospital.
Maxwell, thank you very much for that update. Maxwell Kudeko for the Eastern region with what's happened in this region this week. Let me finish up my conversation that I started with Isaac Nonya. Isaac Nonya reported a bit on the flooding as well, but he has been to court. In fact, there have been court cases of a woman who was accused of witchcraft and nearly killed. There's also been an update on the woman who was actually killed in Kafaba. Isaac, let's start with the woman who survived and whose case was in court today. What happened? Isaac, you're muted, and if you would be at one place, then we can hear you much smoothly, I think. So stay where you are and unmute for us so we can hear what you're saying. Yes, you're still muted. Yes, go ahead, I hear you.
Yes, I can hear you. Yes. There are 5 suspects that were accused from Supimili, right after the torture of Maria and the others. Were in court today, and still they are not the charge. The charge that will be given to them by the police, which is causing harm is not the cause coming up. But the case largely was had to do.
Isaac, I'm struggling to hear what you're saying. I believe our viewers can't hear you either. Let's touch base with Peter Seno. Let me also acknowledge that Ivy Setoji is on the line, is on Zoom with us for the Volta region. Peter is for the OT region. We'll try and reconnect with Isaac Nonya on those incidents. But Peter, you are in the OT region. There have been some accidents there as well. Give us an update and a wrap on what's been happening this week. Then we take a look at them in detail.
Right, Gifty, yesterday, I think at the late hours of yesterday, we had a report of an accident involving two motor riders. One was carrying two other passengers, and the one was on the bike alone. The one on the bike alone, we are told, according to eyewitnesses, that he was trying to make a call or receive a call, and so wasn't focused on the road, and so veered off into the other lane, leading to this crash the visuals we have seen. And so where 4 people have been involved in that crash yesterday, and that, in fact, all of them have their limbs broken with various degrees of fractures. We are told a 72-year-old man was involved, and then, in fact, he almost left yesterday, died yesterday, according to the emergency service providers, that his BP was coming down as low as 45, 46, and then yesterday. And so they are all currently at the St. Mary Teresa's Hospital at Papasi here in the KJB district. And that, in fact, the 72-year-old man, we are told, is being prepared to be referred to the Volta Regional Hospital. That's the Trafalgar at Ho. And so that is the state of affairs as we speak. And in fact, the emergency service providers, the ambulance service, they are, in fact, only 2 men yesterday we saw even the visuals attending to 4 people. And so somehow they are understaffed in the district to provide proper emergency service to residents in the district. And so somehow they say they are understaffed and they will need more men to be on the ground. As and when they call them, they can duly respond. And Gifty, what is worth noting also is the reckless abandon with which some of these motor riders ride in town. And usually they do it without their helmets on. And now that schools have even closed, the WASI candidates have come home. Some of them I know were even riders while they were in school. And so they are all coming back to the street now. In fact, authorities would have to step in and put stringent measures in place so that we don't have more fatalities. In fact, the politics of it, I don't want to go there. That what the NDC is proposing, I don't want to put myself into that harm's way this afternoon. But if you ask me, authorities must be firm and fair and deal with anyone who has one way or the other violated the traffic rules, so that we can be safe on the road. Now you are moving on the road, you don't know if you are going home safe as you came out or not. Everybody is scared, Gifty.
I get that, but then back in the OT region, give us an update on today's voter register exhibition. Have you gathered any information on that? What happened today there?
Yes, Gifty. As I move around, I have seen I observed from a number of exhibition centers. In fact, very low turnout. At my last check, one of them that had about 470 registrants who are supposed to go there and check their details, only 2, as we speak, have gone to do that. And so our sources even within the EC say that it is normal of these exhibition exercises. So for them, they are not surprised about the very low turnout here in the OT region as well. And so that is the situation here. Very, very low turnout as we can report them, Gifty.
Right. Anything else as a highlight that has happened in your region this week, Isaac? Sorry, Peter.
Yes, one more thing that I reported on is the rainstorm victims last March that are yet to receive anything from the NADMO. My information is that a few things have been gathered to be given them, but hasn't been given to them yet. But I know that the district coordinator, and then the DC. They have gone to the regional level to pick a few things for them, and so that is what they are doing. And then let me also mention that the second lady, Samira Baumia, was also here doing a few things. She has even within the district, and I mean the Zongo community, trained 40 women in making detergents of various kinds and forms. And so we will be bringing those reports to our viewers later, though, but that is what has been happening. She came around last week, moved around the region, and as we speak, 40 women in the Zongo community here in KJB have been trained in soap making and detergents.
All right. Thank you very much, Peter. Peter Seno there is from the OT region. Let me finish off with Ivy Setoji for that particular part of the country, because I still have Isaac Nonya to give us an update on the Kafaba murder case. Ivy, what can you report? Let's start with the voter register exhibition.
For today, as it is in other regions, voter region has low turnout of the voter exhibition. Most people are saying that they rather check on their phones. I don't know how possible is that, but people are not really willing to go to the centers to do that for now, especially from the day one. They want to wait until some time or try and see if they can check from their phones.
Right, Ivy, what else has happened in the region that's worth highlighting today?
All right, so the African World Airline were in the region yesterday to assess the whole airport to see whether it is ready to be operational or not. They were there, had a tour of the whole airport, and then they realized that the airport is ready to be fully operational. They are saying that if they are given the chance to operate, they will do that immediately. So from there, they went to Agubomafia to Pekesi call on him. So for now, according to the African World Airline and some management of the airport authority, the whole airport is fully ready. And also, we also understand that the Akachinov district has recorded the highest rates of teenage pregnancy, and this has resulted into more like fear and panic among residents, because some are also attributing it to the school closure of schools for now, making children stay at home, and also some also attributing it to lack of parental care. A camp is ongoing at home where adolescents are being trained to take care of themselves and know what to do when situations of that sort comes up. So for now, these are the three issues in the voter region.
Ivy, thank you so much. Ivy Setoji there joining us from the Volta region. So we've done the Upper East region, we've done the Savannah region, we've done Northeast region, we've done Noti region as well. We've done Nas in the Bono East region. Let's finish up with Isaac Nonya. Quite a number of names there. It takes a while to grasp everything. Isaac will give us an update on the alleged witchcraft cases where one person was murdered, another person was butchered, if you like. Isaac, tell us what happened in court today.
I want to quickly state that 12 people, 12 suspects appear in court today. 5 from the Supini and 7 from Kafaba. First of all, with the Supini, all the 5, including the chief of the area who appear in court today, still pleaded not guilty, and the court was yet to charge them. They are standing on the provisional charge that was leveled against them put on them by the Savannah Regional Police Command. So in that case, the court did not hear much of them, but they moved to the Kafaba issue where Hajia Serena Fatima and that of Bumanya Latifa were already charged of murder and conspiracy murder. In that case, the magistrate court has transferred the case to the separate sheet Family High Court, which will be heard on the 13th of next month, while the other five accusers from Kafaba, one of them told the court that he has a point to make, and the court wanted to hear that, which he said, having appeared 2 occasions without bringing a witness, in this case, he has a witness to present to prove that he's innocent on the case that he has been brought to the court and tried to be put on charge. So the court said, that's your right. You can bring the witness next time when the court is going to hear that. The court also discharged them, the 5 suspects from Kafaba. They were discharged. As they came out from the court, few seconds, they were arrested by the police and then detained in Damago as we speak now.
Give us an update on the other, the much recent one where the victim was butchered.
Yeah, the Supimi.
Yes.
In the Supimi case, the court says that having noticed what happened at Kafaba, the case of Supimi is going to be that of a recipe of what happened in Kafaba. So it should be a lesson that all the people who took part of what happened at Kafaba should be fed as testimonies to those who are doing what is happening. But the women, they said that they are not the real suspects. Say the police report. These 5 suspects from Simpini are not the real suspects they are looking for. They are on the run. There are those who will help them to aid them to be able to get the real suspects who are on the run, including a lady by name also Fatima, who is claimed to have triggered the attack on these 5 other women.
Well, Isaac, thank you very much for that update there. We hope that we would have been able to do the update via Zoom. But are you still there, or have I lost you? Because I wanted you to give us a bit on the voter exhibition, if it happened in your region. Did it?
Yes. We are also taking part. But I must say, as they say, the official said the turnout was generally poor.
All right.
I went to the police station. We have about 1,400 people who registered there. Out of that, we have 85 who came out. The national ambulance, 515, we have only 80 who also turned up. We assume that people are so lazy their boot to come out and check their names.
Very well. Isaac, thank you very much. Isaac Nonya there from the Northeast region joining us with that update. Now, before we go on a quick break, a Justice of the High Court, Amos Wuni, has served notice he will not hesitate to punish persons who scandalize the court. The remarks were made as he adjourned the contempt case involving Asin Central MP Kennedy Ejapong. The court had earlier said it was going to continue with the matter, but later decided to take an adjournment instead. Justice Wuni has ordered the MP to show up and explain why he should not be severely punished for comments he made about a judge, which the court deems disrespectful. Court correspondent Joseph Akablay reports.
Justice Wuni had ordered the MP to show up and explain why he should not be severely punished for comments he made about a judge which the court deems disrespectful. He failed to show up on Monday over claims he was unaware of the proceedings, causing the court to fix the matter for Friday. But his lawyers want the Apex Court to stop it entirely. In an application filed at the Apex Court, they say Justice Wuni does not have jurisdiction to hear the matter since he is not the judge the MP offended. They have also described as strange claims the MP could not be found to receive court documents. They explain Mr. Ejapong is a regular panelist at Net2 TV and could also have been found in Parliament. Lawyers for the MP on Friday informed the court of the application they have filed at the Supreme Court. Justice Wuni dismissed the request to halt proceedings, saying nothing legally barred his court from going ahead to hear the matter. A member of Mr. Ejapong's legal team, Kwame Jan, however, told the judge he disagreed with the decision. Justice Wuni then decided that he would adjourn the case to take further legal arguments from Mr. Ejapong's legal team on Friday, September 25. A member of Mr. Ejapong's legal team, Afenyo Markin, has been speaking to pressmen.
The court obliged us for further legal engagement, and the court so moto took an adjournment so that we could further raise the issue. So that is where we are.
But is it normal practice in the sense that the court had stated that it was minded to continue, and later on it now took the view that it's going to take a break and come back for further legal arguments?
Law has no limitations. Once an officer of the court, in this case counsel, engages the court on a healthy exchange on matters of law. A judge minded to ensuring justice in a matter will do what my Lord has done. And we think my Lord has demonstrated that he always wants the law to reign supreme.
Mr. Japan will on September 25 be urging the court to halt its proceedings pending a determination of the case filed at the Supreme Court.
Joseph Akable with that report. We keep our eyes on that story. We'll bring you updates as and when we have. But today also, Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Kumar-Boaji, says about 4 out of 10 patients receiving care in facilities are harmed in the process. This sometimes leads to either death or disability. Dr. Boaji believes unsafe healthcare delivery can be curtailed if protocols outlined in the service's guidelines for effective healthcare is adhered to. He therefore urges managers of health facilities to ensure staff comply whilst providing the necessary logistics for health personnel are also made available. He said this at the National Patient Safety Healthcare Quality Conference here in Accra on Thursday. Hannah Odame has more in this report.
This is what patients say they want when they visit health facilities.
Doctors and nurses will be our
The doctors and nurses are very caring. They are so careful when examining us, and I am very satisfied with their work. And not this.
Recently, I sent my daughter to hospital. The way some of the nurses were attending to us, it wasn't favorable. When the patients come there, they should have time and cater for them.
But according to the Ghana Health Service, some patients do not receive this kind of care and actually go home with more infections than they got to the health centers. Director General of the service, Dr. Patrick Kumar-Boaji, has been explaining why at the conference.
According to the WHO, as many as 4 out of 10 patients are harmed while receiving care globally. In Ghana, unsafe care occurs in the form of hospital-acquired infections, unsafe surgeries, wrong medication, transfusions or infusions, among others.
Dr. Kumar-Boaji wants all managers of health facilities to adhere to the guidelines outlined by the Ministry of Health to ensure that there is reduction of risk, errors, and harm in providing health care.
Have been developed. Incident reporting guidelines are there. Infection prevention and control policies guidelines are there. The National WASH technical guidelines, the Patient Charter of 2002, and the Community Scorecard, and more recently, the Ghana Health Service Guideline for the implementation of the National Healthcare Quality Strategy are among some of the many guiding documents that we're using to improve patient safety.
According to the country director of PATH, Patients Kofi, provision of wash facilities in health centers will also help reduce risk of infection from hospitals to patients.
It must be noted that inadequate wash services in healthcare facilities compromises health worker safety and dignity, and also has the potential to exacerbate the spread of antimicrobial resistant infections among health workers, and this undermines the efforts to improve the safety of the healthcare facilities.
A Ghana Health Service guideline for the implementation of the National Healthcare Quality Strategy was launched. Hannah Odame for JoyNews.
Hannah's report there taking us to a point where we take a very short break. I'll be right back. When I return, we'll talk about what my colleagues on the Super Morning Show are doing about the flooding situation up north. Kojo Yangsin, the host of the Super Morning Show, will be joining me. Just stay with us. Welcome back to the show. Many thanks for staying with us. Like I said, host of the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM, Kojo Yangsin, the morning man, is joining me. He's going to tell us it's been days of torrential rains. It's been days of flooding because of the spillage of the Bagre Dam and another dam up north. Kojo is here to tell us what the SMS, the Super Morning Show team, is doing, I should say. Kojo.
Yes, in fact, we've been so moved by what's happening to our brothers and sisters in the north. The Bagra Dam was spilled several weeks ago. Yeah. This is something that was anticipated. It wasn't done by surprise. We were not ambushed by it. But of course, the water flowed down south like it always does. It rose. It let the levels of the White Volta go up, and it's flooded its banks and started to affect land and adjoining property. So people have lost lots and lots of land and property. People have died. A family lost their 3-year-old daughter who just popped out to play, and then the rains started. So that's what's complicated it. Heavy rains at this time of the year. So there are several families that are displaced. Over almost 300 individuals are displaced in the northern region. Now, if you think about it, the Bagra Dam spilled in Burkina Faso, spilled over into the upper east region, and then the northeast, and then the northern region.
Yeah, I'm actually told that the upper east regional minister indicated that there's actually another dam which was also spilled, so there are 2 dams
well, that makes it even worse. And then, of course, we've got the rain. So it's a very, very dire situation, and there are the communities that are cut off from civilization. In fact, in the northeast region, 50 communities, according to our correspondent, Elias Sutanko, are cut off.
Plus, those who are supposed to write the BEC exams who could not have access to the examination centers.
Some of them had to attempt to travel by boat to the exam centers. Others can't. And it's a very tough situation. We're so moved by it. We talked about it on the Super Morning Show, and of course the nation came together and immediately started to offer all kinds of donations and support. So we thought, you know what, this is up to us. We can't wait for someone else to come and save us. So we started a hashtag up to us, and we started to call for people to bring in their donations. And it's been amazing. People have brought in rice, oil, food, clothing, toilet roll, all kinds of things that these people need so badly to survive. Some of them are sleeping on the streets because their homes are flooded. And money, lots of people bringing in their widow's mite, corporate institutions also supporting. And it's been wonderful. There's a company called Global Haulage. They've been in the logistics business for many years in Ghana. They have offered to move everything we collect from Accra all the way up to the north to help us distribute. We want to work with the Red Cross. They are on the ground. They know the people who are most in need. They're going to help us with the distribution. We've also got EcoBank. Now, they came in this afternoon, and they gave us 50,000 Ghana cedis. Wow. We've also had the Ghana Water Company.
And Kojo, I just jump in there a little bit, because I hear the amount, and for some people it might not sound like much, but knowing this area very well, I've reported from this area a number of times. Knowing this area very well, I know that this money can change lives. It will put a lot of smiles on a lot of people. So we say a very big thanks to EcoBank for that. You're telling me about Ghana Water Company.
Yes, indeed. Now, just before we touch on Ghana Water Company, just to show how far a little bit of money can go. Today we heard the story of a little girl, a 6-year-old girl, who was crying because she hadn't eaten since morning. Because her whole family and everything they own has been submerged in water. Since morning, she hasn't eaten. So imagine that you gave 20 cedis to the cause. Would that not put a smile on her face?
Certainly will.
Yes, so every little helps, and that is what we're encouraging people to do. Ghana Water Company Limited. Now, there is a water treatment plant in Tamale, which serves tens of thousands of families. Because of the flooding, they are at risk of having to shut it down. Okay, I think they can operate at a maximum of something like 36 feet of water. They are right now at 35.75. Okay, so if it rains one more time, they're going to have to shut it down. So even families that are not flooded are going to be affected because they don't get water. You know, so the Ghana Water Company Limited are so excited about what we're doing. They came and gave 10,000 Ghana cedis today. Just
Stanley Mate and Co. Thank you very much for that intervention.
Now, I'm going there tomorrow.
Great.
I'm going to see for myself.
Which of the there's Ghana Water Company Limited. And there's up north.
I'm going up north. I'm going to the northern. I'm going to the northern, the northeast, and the upper east regions. We want to see for ourselves. We want to go and give people the opportunity to tell their stories. You know, how they've been affected by this, so that those who are rallying support for them will know exactly what they need, so that we can direct the support in a more effective way.
Right. Kojo will be here over the weekend. My team is on duty. I just whispered that.
All right.
So we'll be getting in touch with you, Kojo, and we'll find out what the situation really is on the ground. I mean, so you sit in a car and you see the report sometimes. I mean, you see it and you go to sleep, but we're just going there. We'll magnify the conversation a bit more so you can have an appreciation of what they're going through. And thank you so much to everybody who is contributing. And thank you, Kojo, and your team for doing this.
Please keep giving. Please.
Exactly. I have a very soft spot for the regions up north. I have a thing for them I don't really know how to explain. So I'm really excited about this. How can people help, Kojo?
Well, for now, the best thing to do is call Joy FM. Call 0302-216-540. And the lovely ladies on our phones will tell you exactly which options are available to you if you want to help this cause. If you have items you want to give, just come over. We're here and waiting for you. Thank you so much.
Kojo, thank you very much. The number again is 0302-216-540. That's 0302-216-540. Let me finish up the conversation or what I started telling you about the low turnout at the various centers as the Electoral Commission begins the exhibition of the Provisional Voters Register today. The exercise, we know, is expected to continue for the next 8 days. It's taking place simultaneously across 63,367 I beg your pardon, centers nationwide. You know, they're starting from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. and it's every day, including Saturday and Sunday. But then a visit that, you know, we made to some of the exhibition centers here in Accra reveals very little activity with low turnout. Manuel Kranting has this.
A dull Friday at the Youngsters International School Exhibition Center. Two centers combined with about 684 registered voters. They're expected to come and check their details and confirm names and spellings and so on. We'll try to get closer to some of the EC officials here and speak to them about how the process has been so far. How long have you been here?
4 hours now.
4 hours now. Okay, so I mean, what is the progress that you're having here?
No, not much. The people are now. We are expecting the people to come and check their names on the provisional register. But as at now, we are having about 9 people who have checked.
9 people. That is for your polling center or for
both?
For both of the polling centers.
The two polling stations. We have 9 people as at now.
Out of how many?
Out of 684. Yeah. So, but we are hoping for them to come and check. But for the exceptional, the multiple list, we have, for my center, I have only 1 person who have done multiple registration. So we are hoping if the person will come and object to the name, his name, which has appeared on the multiple list.
I'll try to speak to, I see one gentleman here who has come to, confirm and check his name. Have you gone through the process yet?
Yes, please.
Okay, so how was the process?
It's really cool. I came here and nobody was here, so I just made it fast and I'm on my way going.
Okay. So how long did it take you?
I mean, less than 1 minute.
Less than 1 minute? Yes. But we know that the EC has, giving out a code, I think at 1422, that you could use to check. Did you try it?
Yes, I did it earlier in the morning, but I realized it didn't work, so I decided to come to the center to find out.
Okay. So you know that code and you tried it?
Yeah, that is 1422.
1422. You tried it, didn't work?
Yes, please.
The EC's official at the center, Frank Darko, confirms to me how they've tried in vain to access the system.
Okay, but we tried to, but it's not active now. I don't know. We've tried, but it's not active now. So I don't know if we can check. So, yeah.
Do you suspect that is one of the reasons that people are not coming to the polling center to confirm?
It could be, but the system, Ghana, for the previous checking the exhibition, the numbers is not encouraging.
So you had there some of the those who went to check with some concerns. We've been talking to the Electoral Commission on how they're fixing that particular concerned with the 1422 short code. I want you to take a listen, but mind you, I'll be talking to Theophilus Tetechai, his Greater Accra General Secretary of the NDC. They are raising some concern about the implementation of the voter register exhibition. We'll talk to him. But first, listen to the Electoral Commission on how they're fixing the problem with the short code 1422.
There was a little traffic in the morning, So we are about to issue a statement on that.
Okay.
It means that if you have already imputed your ID number to 1422, you needn't do it again, because if you do it again, 30% will be deducted from your account. So what you have to do is that you have to wait till you get the information. Definitely it will come. It will come very soon. We had a technical issue, and the technicians have worked towards that. So you can try now. The system is working. You dial 1422. So you dial your input your ID number to 142. You get to see your name, your voter ID number, your age, your gender, polling station code, polling station, your district, and then the region. These are the things that will pop up.
Okay, does it mean that, because just to be sure, you might check and have your name and everything, but if you get to the polling center, because pictures were taken, you get to the polling center on the day of voting and you can't, maybe the picture doesn't match, with the name doesn't match the picture on the ID. Does it mean that you should check on phone and still go to the exhibition center to just check for your picture to be sure it's there?
The essence of you checking the details is that, let's look at this scenario.
Okay.
You may have registered in Accra, and you have traveled to Kumasi during the exhibition. It is important for you to check your details. So therefore you input your ID number to check your details. Beginning the exercise from the 18th, which is today, to the 25th. So you have some time. If there are any issues, you can always come back and have it rectified. That is it. But the main thing is that that is a secondary option. But the crux of the matter is that it is better for you to go to the exhibition. Sorry about that. It is better for you to go to the exhibition center yourself to check your details and have it rectified. If there are any problems, then you have it rectified. Let me say that the essence of the exhibition exercise is to make sure that corrections are made if they find any anomaly.
You're still watching The Pulse with me, Gifty and up here. That was the Sylvia Ano, who speaks for the Electoral Commission. Let's speak to the NDC, the Greater Accra Region General Secretary, Theophilus Tetechai. They're raising some concerns over the exhibition process. Mr. Chai, thank you for your time this afternoon. What exactly are your concerns?
Thank you very much. Hello?
Yes, please go ahead. We hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, thank you very much. We have so many concerns to raise.
Let's make it brief so that we can capture everything within good time. I've run out of time, unfortunately.
Okay, thank you very much. Our concerns are that, one, there has been too many names taken out of the register. In some constituencies, you have as much as 19,000. Ashama, for example, Ladadeko took 1,221. The list is on and on. And this is an exhibition exercise that over the years, we've had challenges in terms of people coming to verify whether their names are included in the register. And so for the EC to bring out a provisional register that has so many names deleted, it is very problematic.
So the case is that you are saying 19,000 names have been out in Ashaiman constituency, and then Did you say 19,000?
Yes.
And then you say 1,221 in Ladade Kotopon.
1,721.
721. How did you come by these figures?
Thank you very much. You know, the NDC have taken this exercise very, very, very serious. And from day one, when the registration exercise began, we've taken account of all the daily registrations that were done. We have the start of poll and the end of poll. So in our various constituencies, we have data on each registration center as to the number of people that registered, including their names.
Okay.
And so before the provisional register came out, we have already put together our provisional registers for the various constituencies.
So you have your own provisional register, but what we can work with is what the EC gives us. But you are saying that from what you have and what the EC has given, 19,000, as many as 19,000 names are out in Ashaiman.
As I talk to you, the EC is now withdrawing all the registers that they brought out, especially in areas that the deletion has been so huge.
I see. But did you find these names on the exemption or the multiple lists? Hello, Mr. Chai?
The provisional voter register itself.
It didn't have any of these names?
Yes.
And how are you able to count 19,000 names? The program just started. I mean, this exhibition just started today. I'm just wondering between this morning and now.
Let me tell you something. The EC has the provisional registers at the various exhibition centers.
Yeah.
Okay. We have done our provisional registers for our various constituencies. So verifying the total that you have and the total on the provisional register is not a difficult thing to do.
I see. Have you reached out to the EC to find out what may have gone wrong with what you have found?
In fact, the EC is putting up a detailed interim report on some of the challenges we found in all the constituencies in the Greater Accra region. And those challenges will then be forwarded to our national executives for them to also look at it and then maybe come out with a formal announcement.
I see. Well, madam, we will leave it here since you are putting together a detailed report for the EC. We'll leave it here, and when you do, we'll follow up and get more of what happened there. Mr. Chai, thank you very much for your time this afternoon.
I'm so grateful.
Theophilus Chai is the Greater Accra General Secretary for the NDC. He's alleging that about 19,000 names are out of the voter register in Ashaiman constituency, and about 1,722 are out in Ladade Kotopon. He says there are more, but they're putting together a detailed report and then to go to the Electoral Commission for some answers on that. I have run out of time so badly, it's not even funny. But let's have this conversation and let's try and make this time quality. I'm inviting you to bring in your questions. We're continuing today with the assessment of the chances of the smaller opposition parties. And now we have the leader and founder of the Liberal Party of Ghana, LPG. Mr. Apalu is here with me in the studio. He's joining me. And the Electoral Commission, as you know, a couple of days ago announced 100% increment of the filing fee for the presidential candidate from 50,000 cedis to 100,000 cedis. Now, we have had some reactions. We've had some reactions from the political parties, including the LPG. The LPG has indicated that 100,000 is okay for them, but they have issues with how much the parliamentary candidates are having to pay. So we'll talk about the filing fees, we'll talk about their readiness and how everything else is going. I'd like to hear from you, so do send us your comment, your thoughts, your quick questions if you have. And yesterday I couldn't take a lot of your questions. I want to take them now. The number is on your screen. It's 0540 9009. Mr. Paulia, welcome to the show.
Thank you, my dear.
How are your campaigns going?
We are winning the 2020 elections. It's going very, very well. So the 2020 elections, we can tell you we will win the elections.
What makes you so confident?
Yeah, because Ghanaians are ready to vote for LPG. Ghanaians are ready to vote for Kofi Akpaloo because they've been listening to us and they've been doing their own comparative analysis, and they've realized that this is the guy who has the message that they are looking for and they are yearning to hear. So we are ready, not only by talking, also by action. We're going to make sure we win the 2020 election hands down.
So when did you do your congress to choose your flag bearer, or you didn't go through any congress?
Oh, actually, we did an acclamation at Marriott Hotel.
An acclamation?
Yeah.
For you, that sounds very autocratic, doesn't it?
Oh, no, because of the COVID. Even MPP, they have to go through that.
Well, wouldn't you say it's because you are the founder of the party, everything in the party revolves around you, so it was an automatic tick?
Actually, the people within the party, they love to see me leading them.
I see.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your concerns with the fees that are being charged by the Electoral Commission. You indicated that you wanted a reduction in the fees for the members of Parliament or the parliamentary candidates. How far have you gone with your engagement with the Electoral Commission?
Actually, as a party, we've written to them, asking them if they can do something about it, because looking at the situation now, the economic situation, things are not, we are not in the normal times. So we are asking that if they can bring down the fees for the parliamentary candidates, we will be happy, because the 10,000, I think, is too much. You see, if you look at the requirement for one to register or file to contest the parliamentary seat, the person needs to be 21 years. So as a party, for instance, we are encouraging the young people to go to Parliament or to be involved in our governance system. And we are also trying to encourage more women to also participate in our elections. So when you peg fees around 10,000, it will scare some of the young people who want to go to Parliament, and also women that we are encouraging. Because, I mean, apart from paying the 10,000, they are also looking to find money to go around their constituencies and then campaign. So we see that if the EC can look at it and then reduce it a little bit, it will help.
Have you had any response from the EC?
Actually, they said they will get back to us. Even this afternoon, we were there just to find out if they have been able to do something about it. But the response was that they are going to get back to us as soon as possible. Okay,
I just talked to the first of all, I talked to the Electoral Commission today, and I've just spoken to the NDC today about the ongoing voter register exhibition. So based on what the NDC is saying, this texter says, how can you claim 19,000 names have been removed from the voters register when the exhibition has just started? The NDC people should get serious, because allegations and gargantuan promises don't win elections nowadays. They should be real with electorates. What are your thoughts on the process so far?
Actually, we just started because we have this adjudication committee who have been going into various meetings to find out how they are going to remove those who have done multiple registration. So we have, I think we have MPP, NDC, LPG, I think CPP, and then PPP on the panel. So they are coming out with, and then the civil societies. So they are working on it, and I think it's too early, like you said, to conclude on anything. But I was so overwhelming when the gentleman mentioned that 19,000 names have been removed from the Ashaman alone register. I was like, how can this be possible? And then I was so happy that when you put the question back to him, that how did you arrive at that figure? He said, we are trying to find,
he's talking about putting together the totals, doing a subtraction of the total. Why are you laughing at his calculation? He's looking at the total number of people on the EC's register and looking at the total number he has.
No,
and he says
he's just trying to muddy the waters, you know. Just
Why do you think so?
Oh, yes, because, you see, he has no basis. of that accusation that is trying to level against the Electoral Commission. You see, sometimes people have to be truthful to themselves. You can't just come out and concoct stories and trying to put it out there.
Well, how do you say he's concocting stories when you yourself have not checked?
Yeah, you see, removing 19,000 from Ashama alone, even the whole this thing is around 6,000. So how is it?
The whole what is 6,000?
Because what I know from records that the EC also mentioned was that you're talking about 6,000 people who have done multiple registration. So how did he come up with?
No, his 19,000 is not people who are on the exemption list or on the multiple list. He's talking about people that from his details are missing and not there at all.
Okay.
That's what he said.
Is he part of it? I don't think he is part of it. So who is he talking for?
I see. So let's focus on what we're doing right now, you know, engaging the smaller opposition political parties here, is to give you, because yesterday I had a chat with the PNC's national chairman, and he said that there is a media conspiracy to, you know, keep small political parties where they are. I don't agree with that assertion. But what we'll do is to give the platform for you to market yourself. I'll tell you what people think about LPG and about, you know, such engagements. But let's see what this person is texting about. He says, good afternoon, Gifty. I want to find out from Mr. Polo whether is the party that's going to take the cost of the filing fees for its parliamentary candidates across the country, Prince Nuruddin Baumia from Boko. Are you paying for the filing fees for the parliamentary candidates?
How can we pay for parliamentary candidates?
Why not?
The parliamentary candidates themselves should pay.
Okay, so you're not paying for that?
Because if you go to MPP and NDC, the MPP, the parliamentary candidates pay. NDC, the parliamentary candidates pay. Is that not it? Okay. Because you have to pay about 40,000 or 50,000 before you can go through MPP, even before you go and meet the delegates. The same thing applies to NDC. So there's nothing free here.
Okay. This one says that Mr. Kingsley from Tamale, your message has been duly acknowledged. This one says, well, I want to find out from Mr. Kofi whether the party is. Oh, okay. I think I've read this already. This one says that at Aswanse in the central region, we register on our name cannot be found on the register. Okay, I'm not really sure what you're trying to text, but let me take you to those who think that we shouldn't be entertaining such conversations. This person doesn't have their name. It says, Master, you are wasting our time. Please, you are my brother, and so stop wasting our time. Let me put on. There are about 4 of them. Let us together. This one says, Apalu is a bootlicker. He's just joking with Ghanaians, and we shouldn't take him seriously. NPP gave him a contract worth $1.9 billion at the ECG, and since then he has become a protege for Nanado.
Yeah, $1.9 billion.
It says $1.9 billion.
Yeah. I don't know whether even the assets at ECG worth $1.9 billion.
Did the MPP give you contracts? They did. You got some contracts under the administration.
Is ECG, is it for MPP?
No, this is the ECG. You're responding to this message.
No, ECG is a limited liability company.
Are you responding to this message?
Yeah, I'm responding to it.
Okay.
ECG is a limited liability company. And a limited liability, they can decide to do business with whoever they want to do business with.
Okay.
Okay? So it's not a Flaster House or Jubilee House. Okay? If you get a contract at Jubilee House, then it means you are getting government contract. Are you okay?
No, but ECG is run by the government.
No. It's a limited liability company.
Yes, but it's still government still has shares in it.
No, you have shares, fine.
Of course.
So if you have shares in Joy Multimedia, if I assume you have shares
so the contract
does it mean you're not supposed to do business with Multimedia?
Okay, so the point is from what I'm getting, the question
I've not gotten any contract from MPP. Okay?
You've gotten contract from the government, but not from the MPP.
I've not gotten contract from the MPP. I've gotten a contract with ECG, okay? And ECG is a limited liability company, and my company has gotten a contract. It's not Kofi Apollo, it's my company that has gotten a contract with ECG. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because are you telling me that I'm supposed to do business in Ghana? Or I'm not supposed to buy shares in a company? No, I don't get it. If you own shares in Multimedia, and Multimedia go and run adverts for any of the government institutions, does it mean it's illegal or what? I don't get it.
Okay. So you have a contract with ECG.
There's nothing wrong.
It is not up to $1.9 billion.
No.
But you have a contract. But we're answering the person. But you have a contract with ECG, but that is not a contract from the political party, but from the government, you say?
Not from the government. From ECG.
You got a contract from
is
ECG.
A company. It's a, you see, we have what they call entity concept. Okay, it's on its own. It's a name. It's an individual. It's a person. ECG is different from Ghana government. Okay, so people should get this clear.
I see.
Yes.
Okay. What exactly what's the nature of this business or this contract you have in with the ECG? What exactly do you do?
Unfortunately, I'm not here to discuss the contract details.
But you want to be president of Ghana?
No, but I'm not supposed to do that.
No, hang on. Do you want to be president of Ghana?
Yes.
Is that not why you're here?
No, you did not call me to come.
You want to be president of Ghana?
No, yes, I'm going to be president of Ghana. I will win the elections. Okay. Nothing will stop that.
Okay.
You see,
and you don't think that people of Ghana have the right to know the business you're into?
They don't need to know the details of what I do, because you do business with a company. I'm not the only person. Okay, my company is doing business with ECG.
Okay.
Has ECG giving me the right to come and discuss the content of the contract?
So as a voter, this is how I believe
if you want anything, you can write to ECG and then ask them. If you want any details, you can write to ECG.
How can Ghanaians trust you with their vote if you're not even willing to be transparent enough with your dealings?
I have to look at the legalities. Okay?
No, legally you may be right, but if you want to be transparent, because you want the people's vote.
Transparency doesn't mean you should just divulge information out there, just like that.
So you're not happy to open up entirely to Ghanaians?
If it's about me alone, if it's about me alone.
But you alone cannot be you alone without what you're into.
Sweetheart, if it's about me alone.
My name is Gifty.
Gifty, if it's about me alone, no problem. Okay? But now there's a third party. I can't just come and sit here and be talking about the third party.
Okay. Let me go on with the messages that I'm getting. At the end of the daily, okay, you're talking about the registration. You say you're tired of the NDC and the NPP. They can rightly, so they should wait for the program, for the exhibition to be over before they compare figures. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Gifty. Can't you see Mr. Akpalo is always supporting NPP? Because of the contract he has taken from the NPP. Frederick Tete texted that from our front page. I seem to be getting a lot of that message.
No.
Messages.
You see, this is their problem. Have you asked me anything relating to NPP here? Huh?
They are asking. They are going to vote for you.
Or EC now is NPP.
They're asking you.
No. You should also throw it back to them. I don't know whether EC is also NPP.
My job is to take your answers for them.
Oh, sometimes.
Because you want their votes, right?
You know, some people, I don't need their vote. Not everybody that I need their vote. There are some people, whether you cry or you weep or you do whatever, they will still not vote for you. So I won't waste my time on such people.
Tell Mr. Akpalo he should bet if he's sure that he would win.
I will win.
He said he should bet.
It's done deal.
It's a done deal.
Oh yes, I will win 2020 elections.
This one is asking, Jinny from Brekum West, Alfred says, why are the smaller parties not merging together as one party to struggle for parliamentary seats instead of showing, they will one day show NPP and NDC some lessons?
I think this guy is supposed to go out there and campaign for LPG. You see, because LPG is ready.
He says LPG is a small party. You can join with the other smaller...
LPG is not a small party.
Hang on. He's saying that... Let me finish with the question.
Okay.
His position is that the LPG is a small party. You can join with other smaller parties and beat the NDC or the NPP.
Let me be honest with you. LPG is not a smaller party. LPG is bigger party. I can tell you, even if God open your eye to see the number of people who are following LPG now, you see that we are even more than MPP and DC combined.
I see. Good afternoon, Gifty. I'm ever ready to vote for Mr. Kofi Akpalo. NDC's lack for reaching innovating policies. Bright from Tepa. I'm not quite sure, but what I get there is that you say you vote for LPG. Thank you. But Mr. Akpalo, over the years, you've been in this business. I mean, you've been doing election after election. I mean, you've had your own issues where you've not been allowed to be on the ballot box, etc. But why do you think over the years you have done this, but you're still not performing very well when it comes to elections, even ones that you've been slightly involved?
Well, actually, my first and my ever election was the 2004 election that I contested at Menchia as a parliamentary candidate.
Okay.
Though I went in as an independent candidate, I came second. I managed to beat NDC there. It was MPP that I couldn't beat. Yeah. So 2012, I tried to contest as a presidential candidate. Unfortunately, Afarijan did not allow me to contest. The same thing also happened in 2016. I think I was sitting right here with you, and when they started disqualifying people from the AC office on the 10th of October 2016. So 2020, I'm 100% certain that I'll be on the ballot and I will win the elections. I will win the 2020 elections. So people can choose to believe it or not. I know I will win. That was why I threw that challenge to that prophet. What is his name? Prophet Nigel. When he wrote on his Facebook that he heard some voice that something was telling him, John Muhammad, John Muhammad, John Muhammad. I said, oh, it was a damn lie because Muhammad can't be president again. I will win the 2020 elections. I dare any prophet, I dare any imam, I dare any soothsayer, anybody who can see the future from here to tell me or deny what I'm saying. I will win the 2020 election. It's done, sweetheart, Gifty. I will win it. I will win 2020. I
have a lot of texters who are saying that if parties like yours would actually focus your energies on becoming a third, stronger party by coming together, you actually stand a better chance than you do right now. I give you the chance to convince people. I'm told to wrap up. Still, I have a lot of messages. People want to ask you a lot of questions, but give Ghanaians the reason why they should take you and LPG seriously at all.
For 2020 elections, we are asking Ghanaians out there to just go out there and vote for Kofi Akpaloo, simple and short. Because when they do, in government, LPG is going to put money directly into people's pocket. Every child below 18 years will receive 200 Ghana cedis every month. If you happen to be a twin, you are going to receive 300 Ghana cedis every month. This is what we call child benefit. So assuming you have 4 children, you should expect 800 cedis every month. Now, if you're unemployed, we have 2 categories. Those who have worked before but they've lost their jobs, they are going to receive unemployment benefit depending on their SNET contribution. And then those who have never worked before will receive what we call income support. And then on the third part, we're going to give people money. Those who are earning less, let's say less than 500 cedis, we will top them up to 500 cedis. We call them income supplement. The reason why we want to do that is that we want to give money to people to enable them to buy goods and services, just to stimulate the economy and to create jobs and to create wealth.
I hear you.
We are going to make university education free.
I've run out of time, so I need you to end it for me. But most of the questions think that
you love the questions.
Yes.
Yeah, but
I'm not the one whose vote you're seeking. You're seeking the vote of Ghanaians. They are asking you questions here, and you have the responsibility to answer if indeed you want them to take you seriously. Most of them are asking about the seriousness of the party, which is why I said to convince them. Well, let's end the show with a quick reminder. There's more news at myjoyonline.com. If you do log on, many thanks for staying with me throughout the week. Let's do this again next week. My name is Gifty Ando Apia, and I leave you with Let's Talk Showbiz, which is how we wrap up the entire show. Have fun and have a good weekend.